Hello, my name is Frank. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be reviewing and kind of preparing myself for an upcoming phone interview as a data quality analyst for a bank. So, in my prior experience, I do have experience working as a machine learning engineer and IT support staff. Those past experience, I think, has kind of given me, or I guess those kind of skills and my past experience kind of translate pretty well to the position that I'm interviewing for. So, but once again, it's always kind of nice and good to go over things. So in this video, I'll kind of go over the job summary and then the job description and the job duty, maybe point by point, or just kind of skim through it. So once again, I hope you enjoy the video. And once again, this is my first time kind of looking at the job description and everything too. Today, I just kind of got a recent emailed and everything set up pretty quickly. So I'm quite excited about this, and I hope you enjoy this raw, edit and this raw video of me preparing myself for an upcoming interview. Thank you. So I have a Word document with the job function, job, like the skills or attributes that could be beneficial for this job. And I did take the name of the companies off and their location for confidentiality. So let's begin. Some of the qualifications, I guess the initial one would be education, a bachelor degree in computer or data or anything tech related. So I do have undergrad in computer science and data science. Thankfully, there was no license or certification required. And some of the experience would be, I guess, basically this data analysis using SQL queries, Tableau, and Excel, or in creating dashboard. I guess for experience, I do have ton of experience with SQL. I did SQL queries in school and outside of school, and also Excel too, same thing. And but for Tableau, that's something I had to learn outside of school. It's a very niche, or actually very nice environment as a data analyst, as a basically a visualization dashboard, a visualization environment. Not too complex, pretty quick drag and drop kind of thing. But obviously, it can get more complex if you really want it to. And also experience with a relational and non-relational database. So I do have experience using SQL Server, and but I don't have any experience using Oracle. But I don't think that should be that big of a problem because I kind of understand the fundamentals of a relational and a non-relational database. So not too worried about that. So let's look at some job specification. Performs daily data lineage validation. That I'm assuming is probably where data data lineage validation is probably where data comes from. The origin of data, how it ended up being retrieved, or how the data was stored within certain database, and how often that database is being used. So just kind of validating that lineage of that data, I'm assuming. Resolves data variances across file types. I'm assuming if there's any inconsistent data formats within database or data sets, then I would, or this person within this job would have to resolve those kind of things. Once again, basically research to identify anomalies, inconsistent, and errors within database. Once again, same thing. If there's any in wrong data wrong data formats, such as maybe using the wrong data format for dates, instead of doing like month year, they could month day year, they could do day month year or something along the line. Those small minute things uh, could add up to something big. I guess resolving those kind of small things. Assist database developers in resolving identified data issues. Once again, working with someone else, resolving issues. I've worked with a senior database developer at my internship, and so I guess I do have a little bit of experience working in there too. Participates in user acceptance testing activities. Yeah, uh, performs data collection, very basic data analyst job duty kind of. Communicates finding and results to leadership project partners as required. Yeah. Works with internal stakeholder departments to ensure data files ensures a handled time. So I guess that would be something along the line where a different department, say a marketing department, needs a little bit of data, or not marketing, but since it's a bank, I mean there would be a marketing department, but I'm just saying like other departments needing data for their project, and you're able or you're in charge of kind of transferring those datas, making sure they're being handled properly and I guess within the time frame also. So and yeah, works with internal stakeholder departments to fulfill business analyst project requests. Like, yep, completes data related tickets assigned by IT help desk. So yeah, so I guess I'm assuming there's probably a ticketing system from the IT department that data qual that this position would have to complete. So yep, and I do have experience at working within or working using a ticketing system. I think Jira was one of them I ended up using as a help desk in my college. Works in cross functional teams to support business needs or special. That should be good. So so for company specific, use window operating system, but not limited to. So yeah, I have both Windows and Macs. I should be good. So knowledge, skills, and abilities. These are things outside of work, but it would be nice to kind of have. I guess the ability to communicate effectively and clearly, both in verbal and written communication. I feel like I'm decent at that. I feel like I'm really good at communicating verbally and within written communication. Strong knowledge of payment industry and card processing. I don't know too much about payment industry or card processing. That's something I haven't done too research on, but I guess that's something you just kind of have to learn within the industry. So, yep, something I guess I could improve on. Ability to define problems, collect data, establish facts, and draw valid conclusions. So basically, use data to drive facts or drive your research. Ability to solve problems and deal with a variety of concrete variables in situations where only limited standardization exists. Been in that position. Ability to interrupt a variety of instruction furnished in written, oral, diagram, or schedule form. Um, yeah, self-directed and motivated. Excellent problem solving. Ability to articulate technical concept, both the written and oral. I feel like kind of making YouTube videos and kind of this kind of helps you, or this definitely is helping me become more articulate within these, like hard technical concept or just anything altogether. Just me being able to verbalize my thoughts and me being able to verbalize certain things definitely is helping me become a better communicator and a better, uh, I guess, yeah, or just helps me better at articulating certain thoughts. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of skills and abilities do kind of match with my skill set and I guess my personality altogether. And yeah, I'll just kind of look up in Google about few behavioral question, and then I'll answer some on the spot, and we'll see how that goes. Hello, welcome back to the video. I guess while kind of doing my research and just looking at articles, looking at like Google searches and YouTube videos, and even like looking at some AI prompts for behavior question for this position, some of the things that kept on reoccurring, or some of the like recurring themes or recurring questions were being able to kind of identify discrepancy within the data set, and how I was able to find those discrepancies, and using all these different database, or like relational database environment such as SQL, MySQL, things of that nature, and being able to explain technical concept to somebody that is not technically attuned. Those kind of things popped up. There's like a few more stuff that popped up too, but I guess some things that I wanted to kind of go over, especially in front of the camera, would be certain questions like, I guess, let me look at my prompt. Something along the line, tell me about a time you tell me about a time you had to identify and resolve a data discrepancy. How did you approach it, and what was the outcome? Um, I guess something that would be through my experience as a machine learning engineer at a food packaging company. There were a lot of discontinued and promotional stuff, or promotional products still present within the data set. And it was a huge data set to begin with, so I ended up removing or using SQL to remove all these um, discontinued products and promotional stuff that no longer were being produced and needed within the dataset. That helped out cleaning our dataset quite a bit, made the data easier to load, and yeah, I guess that would be one of them, or something along the line where products were being um, miscategorized. Certain products, cold products and hot products, were um, kind of being labeled into one bin, and kind of adding an extra layer to uh, categorize them properly definitely helped analyzing the data set much better someone down the line. So I guess, yeah, those would be my two examples right there. I definitely could do better, but once again, everything's kind of coming off off my dome, so I'll definitely polish on my answer later down the line. I guess another example would be, can you give me an example where you use SQL, Excel, or Tableau to analyze or present the data? Um, so I guess something along the line would be, um, I remember working at school with few of my classmates, working on a soccer project. We're basically looking at young professional soccer player who tended to have a very high goal and assist contribution, and also we wanted to look at young players, a young forward that were under 23, and um, were earning less money, essentially in hopes of quote unquote buying those players for cheap, for buying those young promising players for cheap. So I guess we used Excel and cleaned up few, um, I guess cleaned up a lot of older players who were strictly just wanting to look at 23 and under, and there's still a lot of young professional players that were registered within that data set, and we ended up using transferring those data to Tableau, and kind of filtering out them by their attributes, such as goals and assists and how much they were earning per weekly, and then it was more of a X and Y kind of graph, and we were basically highlighting players with low amount of money or low amount of income, while also um, being able to contribute um, in a high quantity with goals and assist. That's my second. That will be my second one. Once again, I'm gonna polish again. This is just kind of bareback right off, with no preparation. Um, I guess tell me about a time you worked with different department to resolve a technical or data issue. How did you ensure alignment and timely resolution? So this is something that kept on popping up in the job description. Is being able to work with the business analyst or database admin or just other department within within the company. I guess something along the line. I don't have a direct experience working with different departments within the IT or engineering realm, but I guess having that one-on-one experience or having that one-on-one relationship with a database admin in my internship helped quite. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So I guess right off the bat, I don't have that experience working with other sets of department or like other departments altogether, but I do have a little bit of experience working with a singular person from, say, I say, like a different department than I was, but we were able to well, I was able to kind of talk to him and then get more domain knowledge of the company. That was the packaging internship. Ask him more about these certain products, why they were labeled, um, like how they're labeled and what they're labeled, those kind of things. Just kind of having that relationship or having that ease to be able to like talk to one another definitely helps quite a bit, I guess. Um, and yeah, I mean that's about it with my cross functional communication right now. I definitely want to get better. I just haven't had any experience working with different departments to resolve technical or data issue. And how about, so I guess, what about, tell me a time you worked with a different department to solve a problem. So, right off the bat, I don't have any experience working with um, different department within the company. Say, I don't have any experience working with the business analyst while I was, engineer, or like I don't have any experience working with the marketing team. But I guess something very similar or something that could be correlated or transferred um, to this question would be, my experience working with a database admin. Um, there was initially he was the one that collected all the data, or like he had the access to all the SQL Server and all of that before me coming into the team as an intern. So right off the bat, I established a really good relationship with him, and we were able to kind of go back and forth. Especially, I was able to ask him all these, bare bone questions that actually helped me quite a bit to understand my project, to understand what I was doing as an intern over there, and then just kind of learning the basic domain knowledge of my data set. Why were the data being recorded the way they were, and how it was recorded. All those kind of things, small minute details definitely helped me out longer, especially like in the longer run, and it helped me out with the analysis portion. Someone down the line where after I cleaned all my data set and when I was doing the analysis portion of my project. So once again, I don't have that direct relationship working with a different team solving a problem, but I do have that experience working with someone else with and kind of figuring out the problem and basically, you know, getting that thing done. Yeah. I think that's about it for me today. Got a lot of things done, but I definitely want to get back on my interview preparation again. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you once again. This was very much bareback. Everything is just kind of like I just got an email too about this phone interview setup, and I just wanted to kind of get my initial research and an initial impression on a camera. So thank you, and I hope you have a good day.